Have you ever been tired of being tired? Jesus was physically tired from the 6-hour journey to the well he was now sitting near. But the mission given to him by God was to have a divine encounter with a woman who was spiritually tired, with a soul thirsty for love, validation, and acceptance. This is Dr. Simpson's adaptation of the story found in John the 4th chapter, of Jesus' encounter with a Samaritan woman at Jacob's well. He has given this woman the name Shara. In the heat of the day, a lone figure emerged from town carrying a water pitcher. Shara, a woman who had been forced to gather water for her home during midday to avoid the ridicule of the town's women, headed towards the town's well, which was on the outskirts of the town. Shara was tired of being tired. She was tired of being misunderstood, tired of being rejected, and tired of trying to fit in. All her life, Shara had been desperately thirsty for love, validation, and acceptance. Her childhood was filled with tragedy and abuse that left her wounded. As a woman, life for her worsened. She had been married and divorced 5 times by men whom she hoped would love, validate, and value her. But one after another, they rejected and discarded her. In her society, women had no voice or power. Shara's decision to live with but not marry the 6th man in her life drew even more scorn by the townspeople, even her own kin. She was ostracized by the women of the town, who saw her only as an adulteress and the worst of sinners. Shara longed for one person who cared enough to try and understand the hurts of her past and see her for who she really was inside. But there was no one. Shara was thirsty for real love, and her only hope was in the arrival of the promised Messiah that both Jews and Samaritans longed for. Shara believed that the Messiah would understand her like no other could. Shortly before her death, when Shara was only 6 years of age, her mother told her of the Messiah who would one day come and not only free Jews and Samaritans from oppression but also liberate women from the oppression of those societies. It was the hope that kept Shara going. As she came in sight of the well, Shara noticed a man sitting there. She was livid. It's bad enough to have to deal with the heat, but at least it gave her solace from the judgmental townspeople. Now, her place of tranquility was being interrupted by a man who apparently, in her mind, was up to no good. Shara braced herself, prayed a quick prayer to God in her heart, and cautiously proceeded towards the well. Unbeknownst to Shara, she was about to have an encounter with a Jewish rabbi that would change her life for all eternity. Don't miss part 3, the conclusion of this series of messages by Dr. Simpson on overcoming spiritual and physical fatigue.